some people are gonna have to lose you, especially if you're that person who had things happen and had people who saw you at different traumatic points in your life and who judged you for not being perfect, who judged you simply for being human, simply for trying to live your life the best way you knew how to, dealing with whatever it was that you were dealing with that was breaking you down, that was destroying you, that was making you feel like you didn't want to be here, that you didn't have any type of value to this world, that there was nothing about you that was special, that there was no spark inside of you. People are gonna have to lose you. They're going to have to. They going to have to lose you. It has to happen in order for you to ascend. And here's why. Understand this. This world, most people are playing this social game and living in competition based on scarcity, right? Because they believe this lie that this universe's resources are finite. They live in a reality that is disconnected from actual reality. They don't live in abundance. They live in fear, right? And their fear is that people are going to look at them and see that they're not who they're portraying themselves to be, right? They're going to see, they fear that people are going to look at them and instantly see the disconnect between who it is that they're presenting and who they actually are, because just like you, they're human too, right? So maybe you're somebody whose flaws were external, who people could see those flaws on you, right? And as a result of people seeing those flaws on you, they chose to judge you based off of the social game that they're playing, right? They chose to judge you, right? And they chose to put you in a box and say, well, at least I'm better than that person. At least they're dealing with that and I'm not. Understand this though, as time passes and the God inside of you begins to show his ass and elevate you, that trauma that you may have been dealing with, you're not dealing with anymore. But that mindset that those people had of putting you in that box and saying, well, at least I ain't dealing with that. I'm better than that. I'm better than this person, or I'm doing this and they're not. So I'm this or I'm that. All of that shit. You don't understand how much it bothers people to see you heal from your trauma. I don't think you get that. How much it bothers people to see you living your life and happy after they've seen you in a trauma that they thought made you less than them. Take a moment and let that sit in. It bothers people to see you heal. If they saw you in a depressed state, if they saw you doing things based off of your pain responses, based off of the lack that you were living in, it bothers people to see you ascend. Even if they never had to deal with that, meaning they don't know what it felt like. They don't know what it felt like to have everybody around them judging. And that since they chose to be with the crowd and judge, they have no idea what it feels like to choose a different route or to be that person that's subjugated. They don't have any idea what that's like. So they'll look at you and they'll say to you, or they'll say in their head about, or they'll say to others about you that, oh, there's something wrong with this person. There's something innately disturbed about this person, because remember where they were. There's no way that anybody can climb out of a box like that. And if they did, there's something that they had to have done wrong. Oh, if this is who they are now, and you could be you being genuine because what you went through fundamentally changed who you are. It altered your DNA to such a state that you can never align with those who've been playing the social game this whole time. You just can't. It doesn't make sense to you. And here they are. Maybe things haven't been perfect for them, but they've been accepted. And they've seen that you've been rejected. They've seen your failure. They've seen your heartache. They've caused your heartache. They've relished in your heartache. And told themselves that they are better than you as a result of the trauma you were going through. So now, this new you that's breaking through, they don't know what to do. They'll look at you and say, "Oh, it's witchcraft. Oh, it's fake. He's bullshitting. He's this or she's that." Don't forget about this, bringing up your past. And if they happen to speak to you, God forbid, they're going to try to pull you into a frequency that no longer aligns with you. That's why you can't go back to old friends or associates. So you think that it's a problem for you not having old friends. You don't realize that you don't have those old friends because you're no longer a vibrational match for that bullshit. And where you're going, the rate of vibration is so much higher than that dense, stagnant shit that even if you tried to, you'd feel yourself condensing. You'd feel yourself collapsing from where it is that you've grown to. So they see you. And the idea that perhaps you're vibrating at a rate that they're not vibrating at, understanding that everyone has a different rate and node of vibration. And there's nothing wrong with anything. We're all on this journey trying to figure out where we're supposed to be or where we could be, what the greatest version of ourselves is. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But understand, they've been playing this social game. And part of the rules of this social game is looking around you and comparing yourself to other people. And telling yourself that, hey, you know, if somebody overcame something that I don't believe I could have overcame secretly, that there has to be something wrong with them. So they'll go behind your back and talk shit about you to others. And they'll try to sneak their way in to get information about you, so that they can downplay it and do whatever they can to put you mentally back in that box that you broke out of. Understand this. That box that they're trying to put you in, that's the box that contains them. Their belief that your trauma makes you less than, that's the belief that subjugates them. Their attempts to isolate, their attempts to manipulate, their attempts to gather facts that they believe are accurate and spread those false facts about you. All of that is exactly why you are no longer in alignment. And yeah, you may go through that lonely season where you don't have many people around and all you want is someone in your corner who's been able to see different versions of you and who is able to love freely the elevation and the growth that you have demonstrated. I understand what that's like, but you need to understand this. Where you're going is so much greater than where you've been. And it doesn't matter who knew you then. It doesn't matter because they're not a part of where you're going. They can look on from wherever it is that they are. It doesn't matter. Where you're going, that's what matters. That growth, that elevation, that trauma you overcame, that's what matters. How you overcame it, that's what matters. And any energy that you spend focusing on the bullshit that they're presenting to you is wasted energy. And we don't waste energy around these parts. So I don't know who needs to hear this message. I don't know who's been hurting because they don't have old friends, or the friends that they thought they'd have are not friends. You may feel lonely, but you are not alone. You have never been alone. You wouldn't have overcome that trauma that you overcame if you were alone. So stop thinking that you need something outside of you in order to complete you or make you whole. That's putting you back in that box that you should have climbed out of a long time ago. There ain't no power outside of you that's greater than this God that's within you. And those people who look down on you or think that they're greater than you simply because of the trauma that you've been through, don't worry. They're growing too. And eventually, everybody's going to come to the understanding that they're the ones creating this shit. Whatever situation they're in, they're the ones creating it. So understand this. You ain't got to get upset. You ain't got to get pissed. You ain't got to get even. You don't need to do shit except live your life. Continue to grow, continue to love, continue to spread the truth that you know, the real truth. That God lives within you. And anything that is not in alignment with that, just go ahead and turn your attention away from it. You don't got to be abused by people who aren't supposed to be in your story. You don't owe nobody nothing. This universe is abundant. This universe is infinite. Our resources are infinite. At some point, you need to come to the point. Do you believe in scarcity? Do you believe in lack? Or do you believe in abundance? Because if you believe in abundance and you got a bunch of people here who are all living in lack, living in fear, but you see resources everywhere. You see opportunity everywhere. You gonna hang with this crowd simply so that you can feel like you're a part of something? Or are you gonna go out and thrive? It sounds silly when you put it like that, right? It does, right? So why you hanging on to them in thought? Why is there energetic threads of your emotions leaking out to them? People only get the energy from you that you freely give. So stop giving away your energy. You need it.